All right, started. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Zhou, the one and only, the father Ibrah of Forex. Anyway, we're doing this thing for the first time, and we chill by my corner here alongside the woman of my dreams, man. Do you know I used to dream about you before you became my wife?
Serious?
I'm telling you. All right, atanga kurutenda katarisa. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to what we call the ForexHub Podcast with yours truly, the father Ibrah of Forex. We're doing this for fun anyway, so let's have fun together. So, ladies and gentlemen, before I go any further, that's a bar. Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, this is the one and only the prophet. We were here to talk about life. We're here to talk about Forex. We're here to talk about money. We're here to talk about marriages. We're here to talk about life. Is there anything that you think I skipped?
No. Those are the basics, the major.
Okay. So for the benefit of those who probably do not know who's next to me, who are you?
The woman of his dreams. Say it.
Yeah, you are the woman of my dreams, but who are you?
Okay, my name is Kundai Robyn, Machakanja, but every time I say that, I have to correct myself. It's now Zhou.
Prophetess.
Yes. So, yeah, that's my name. Do you want to know anything else?
Yeah. Let's consider this paragraph in grade 3 where a teacher says, write a paragraph entitled Myself.
Okay, I think phakathi this topic yona number in the bathroom because I'm used to autographs.
Okay.
Create a paragraph.
That's a bar. Extremely. I give you a head shake. It's very beautiful conference and friends.
So, my name is Kundai Robyn Machakanja. I'm a trader. I'm a mentor. I'm a mother. I love that part. I'm a sister. I'm a daughter. And
I didn't hear you say you're a wife.
I'm a wife. I'm also a babe. I started with that. I said Kundai Robyn Zhou.
No. That was for the first time. When you then started, you were like, my name is Kundai Robyn Machakanja. I'm like, shit, man. Machakanja again.
Oh, that part.
Imagine.
Now a Zhou, and this happened because I'm now a wife. This marriage is kind of new, almost new, close to new. So, sometimes I forget.
I like that.
But, I'm a what you see is what you get kind of person. I'm humorous. I love life. I mean, you guys, this is beautiful. Just being alive and doing what you want to do with your hour is, really nice. So, I'm all that I mentioned, and I also love living life.
Okay. So now, this is my first podcast where there is no, what do you call that guy who asks questions? If it was podcast with Mac G, I would say there is no Mac G. There is no DJ Ola. You get it? So this is me and you, man. Let's set aside the fact that you're my wife and I'm your loving, rich husband. Let's put that aside. Let's talk about life in general. Where are we missing it? Not me and you, in general,
where we're missing it in terms of Forex, in terms of life, which part?
Forex is under life. So let's talk about life in general.
So we're talking about life generally. So you're asking where we are missing it. Okay. So what I'm going to say is my POV, how I think, and how I have been able to interpret this life thing that we're talking about. So don't judge me or don't base it on, no, remember it's my POV.
Don't worry, there is no Elliot. Sagapana Mujaji. That's a bar. Extremely beautiful.
Okay, so I think as a people, we tend to live for other people. Like what we do has to have an impact on the next person, on the neighbor, on anything else aside from us. The life. So I think the very first thing that you're supposed to put in check is, are you living your life for you? Are you okay? Are you happy? Because if everything is okay with you, then you can emanate, you can give, you can pour into the next person. So I think where we're really missing it is we are trying to live for others, which is not bad. But before we do that, let's take a few steps back and make sure you as a person is okay and you're doing what you want to do, regardless of who is saying what, where.
Okay, let me interject. Someone is out there. Universities are enrolling people and stuff like that. Ne? The guy got 14 points and he wants to do accounting. Applies at NAST, for instance. I'll use NAST because that's where I learned. You're given an option to choose not only one program, but there has to be a list so that they, arrange in order. If you can't qualify for this one because there are people who passed more than you, we give you that. But then you were growing up, you wanted to do accounting. You applied at UZ, you applied at NAS, you applied everywhere for the same accounting. But you then get...
accepted somehow.
You get accepted, yes, but with human resources program. Or you're given applied mathematics. Something that you didn't grow up wanting to do, you get. But at the end of the day, because of where we come from, parents are happy. My child just got a place at a university and they're starting to hustle for school fees and stuff like that. But you never dreamt of doing applied mathematics.
Okay. It's like a whole new chapter.
Exactly. So now why am I saying this? I did risk management and insurance. Coincidentally, I'm a Forex trader. And Forex trading happens to fall under financial markets, which also falls under risk management. So at the end of the day, we can safely say I'm doing something in line with what I studied. But this is by coincidence. You get it? Because under normal circumstances, probably I would have fallen for, what you call them, Ponzi schemes. Make money from, there are people who bought houses with that. But then we can't really say there is a life we are living there. So I'm saying to you, in pursuit of being happy, you get it? In that pursuit of happiness, what then happens if I get a program? That's not what I want. Remember, this is not marriage, whereby I marry the person I want. But also about that, let me tell you also, there are people get into marriage just because and my parents at the end of the day, that's not the person I wanted to be with. You get? So at the end of the day, how then do I pursue happiness if life circumstances if the circumstances in life give me things that I didn't want to do?
That are not in line with your passion.
Exactly.
Okay, I hear you. So I would say people do go to school, and school is also very important. But I'm saying, if you really look at life somehow, most people, what you wanted to do when you were growing up is not, in as much as your risk management got to be aligned with your Forex trading, etc., what you really wanted to do, what was here as a child, is not what you're doing. You can confirm.
Yeah, I wanted to be a soldier.
Okay, this is news.
You didn't know about it. Bro, we've been married for so long. We've been together for so long and you don't know your husband wanted to be a soldier.
Dude!
I wanted to be a soldier.
I'm trying to picture you in that uniform. Yeah.
Bro, I wore it before.
Is it?
I won't say it in the army or what because those are pins, but I have you get it. So and I'm one day is no that I size.
Okay, is that where the passion came from? Did you look up to this person and like?
I like the way he was being saluted.
Okay.
Even in town, he's not in combat or anything. He bumps we bump into his juniors. They know the chef and it. I'm like, man, we're pushing a trolley here, buying bread and stuff, but then here you are. So somehow, I got attracted to it. Probably to me, it was in terms of, I like power.
Okay.
So in as much as I like power, there are a lot of ways to get that power. And one of them is money.
Okay.
You get? So somehow, life then led me here. But I pictured myself.
Being a soldier.
And I told her that yellow beret, here presidential guard. Like, I mean, that's where my passion was. But then the problem here is, I used to be fat. Nobody shaming to the fat comrades in the house. I used to be like you. I don't know how I lost weight. It's not like I went on diet or anything. No. Somehow, probably as I grew up, stuff happened.
Share of the baby weight.
I used to be the slowest guy in class, whether primary or high school.
The slowest.
Slowest in terms of running. This is to show you how obese I was. But then at the same time, I wanted to be a gunman.
Okay. All right, like before I answer you, I've also picked up something that this thing that you wanted to be, the soldier part, came from someone who you loved, someone who you looked up to, and you admired their way of living, and it kind of, swerved you in a different direction when it came to a career path.
Exactly.
So, as we realize that generations and generations, maybe somehow we haven't really fostered what we want our children to be. We've just realized that somehow and sometimes they look up to a person, and then seeing how they're living, how they're doing, and probably seeing how they're dressing into that uniform can also have an impact. So I'm also realizing now that this person played a major role in you wanting to be a soldier. So in us creating a new generation that is living for themselves, that is happy, we also need to make sure we're influencing the good, because you saw the good and you got influenced, even though Jagazo change apambere, but something good influenced you into wanting to be a soldier, number one. And then number two, what I've also realized as I was growing up is there is more to life than passion, right? And sometimes when you are in pursuit of this passion, whether you're trying to apply for varsity and stuff, not everyone is the privilege to go to varsity and pursue what they want, etc. So what I can really say is, if you can get yourself something that can make sure you are earning, it can be 100% opposite your passion. It can be something else altogether. But if you realize that this thing is going to be capable of putting food on the table, then go for it. And as long as you go for it and make sure everything is okay, when you start making this money, you can then go on and make sure you fulfill that passion of yours. Because check, for instance, you want to be a pilot, and I, as a parent, for example, I do not have the funds to take you there. Remember, flying hours, etc. I know, because I also wanted to be one. And we do not have that. No matter how much I want to give this to you as my child, I cannot. So how about you become something else? You learn a skill. Is it Forex trading? Is it nutrition? Because people these days, my diet, is it gym instructing, something. And then when you're making a living out of this, you're capable of putting $100 aside every time for your passion. And so I'm saying, even if you go an opposite direction or a different route altogether towards your passion, it is not a reason for you to stop living. It is not a reason for you to stop being happy because you feel like the road or the path you wanted to take yakatwa. No. It's just a detour. And then get the skill, get whatever, even if it's a different program, maybe data accounting, like reverting to your question, and then pana tutu ayo wamira tikupinza hapa zvaunazvo for now usati zvakunyatsokwana imbofanoita human resources. You can still pursue accounting when you're working as an HR manager or something. So sometimes zvongochitaura kuti tinobva tafila kunga our happiness has been cut and zvese zvatopera, so we then swerve from that living for ourselves. This is just a detour.
Okay.
And I feel like anyone can do anything and then use that thing to fund or pursue their passion.
I like that you raised a very important point. I've been married to you. I've been your boyfriend.
You're still married? Yes.
Okay. Wife. Dear wife. Beloved wife. How do I locate or identify my Java?
What do you mean?
My passion. This is a bar.
Extremely
beautiful stuff.
Very, very, very.
How do I locate my Java? How do I locate my passion? How do I identify it? Like, I'm here. All I know is I want to wake up, sit on this very corner, and make money. What do I want to do next? I want to teach someone to be a better person. But if I'm to be put in front of a high court judge and I'm to be asked, what's your passion? Yo, bro, the only passion I know is Java in my life.
Okay, like you said, maybe that's still your passion, but it has just been yangofushirwa somewhere by the corner. And sometimes what you thought you loved can change as you grow up, not because that was a wrong passion, but remember Jatambo Taura, it was probably influenced into your life by someone else. So when it comes to identifying the Java, like you said, I can't really say I have an answer to that, but I can share what has helped me or the route that I have taken to identify mine. The very first step I did was I asked the very person, I don't know if I should say person, or the very same superior being who made sure I would be here on this planet at this point in time. So I just went on my knees and I asked God, what is my purpose? Like, why did you take time to create me and make sure I'll be here for a certain number of days? What is it that I'm supposed to add onto your creation? What is it that you made me for? And believe you me, he's a God who answers. He's a God of direction. He will show you the way. And I'm not saying you should ask my God. You know who your God is. It can be a different God, it can be a different religion, but go to your superior self, the superior being who made sure, someone that you believe in, and they will help you identify your passion. And usually your passion is aligned to your destiny. I don't know how, but somehow this is true, guys. Like, what you really want is somehow aligned to your destiny. So if you ask the very person who knows what your destiny is, you will get to understand, find, and know your passion and walk towards your destiny.
All right. At some point, what I'm about to say now comes from you involving God. Ne?
Okay.
You spoke a lot about God for the last 2-3 minutes of your time without mentioning Him. Because you said you have to go back to the person who brought you on earth, to the Creator. Someone wants to get married, and the pastor say, pray about it. Bro, from what I know right now, if I spend the day watching football or playing FIFA, there is 95% probability that I'm going to dream about football that very same night. So when I then wake up and I see myself, I was dreaming and I was watching football in England, stuff like that.
Does it mean you're a footballer?
Like, I mean, does it have anything to do with me, or this is just my mind? Sorry, this is meant to be a family show, but no under 18. Does it mean my mind is psycho-fucking me in a way?
Okay.
Because if I spend the day flying, 3-4 connections in a day to get to my destination, chances are high one of the dreams is going to have something to do with an airport or with an aeroplane. So am I feeding my dreams with what I spend the day doing? To a point that if I am then to take an instruction from a pastor who says, pray about your woman, so that if she is the right one, God is going to what? To show you. But then I spend 3/4 of my time thinking about that very same person. What are the chances of me dreaming about that person? 95% plus. So now at the end of the day, how then do I get confirmations? Because you are saying I should go back to the creator. You understand? And then I go back to the creator, and somehow after praying, I come across an Instagram advert that talks about a job, and I actually have the qualifications. Are we saying the universe is saying I should apply for that same job? How am I supposed to then get a confirmation to say this is the right dream?
Okay.
Why am I saying this? Like I said, I'm going to be explicit here. Science tells us about a wet dream.
Yeah, science does.
Science does.
It does.
So now, can we involve God in that chapter? Let's talk about the wet dream and God before we align God to our destiny and God with our money and stuff like that. Why am I saying this? I need to get confirmations for the benefit of someone who's watching. Could after praying for something to marry, but I don't know what to do. The money I have, I can fund an account, I can buy a prop firm, I can do this, I can start a business at a time, I can buy a printer and do photocopying. All these are ideas that are being influenced by the amount of money that you're carrying. And then you pray about it. If I then coincidentally dream about selling tomatoes, should I then say that's the confirmation I wanted?
Okay. I want to say a disclaimer. My disclaimer. I said it was
yours.
My disclaimer.
You are entitled to your own opinions.
I believe the presence of God does not erase logic or common sense. Before we answer this, that's what I believe. And I know God does miracles. Miracles do not respect education, gender, age, etc. But that's for God who is doing the miracle and stuff. But sometimes, because we want something, we tend to remove all the common sense or logic that comes with that thing, right? For example, you want a job and you pray about it, but you're not doing anything to apply for that job. So just because you have spoken to God, etc., and I do know He can speak into someone's ears who is not there and they look for you, yes, but at the same time doesn't erase the logic or the common sense that you have to wake up and make sure you apply, etc. So to answer your question about knowing how this is my confirmation, right? Number one, it's between you and your God. I remember I said God to your God. So I don't know how your God speaks. So I can't really speak about the confirmation from your God when I don't know how. But in relation to myself and answering this question, what I'm saying is, number one, you gave an example. If you guys remember, he was saying, pamunda chuskwera na nomwe munhu ndowandogara nchifunga 100% and then ndozomurota amidst me asking God kuti ndiye munhu wangu here. Ipapo the number one fault or patange takanganisa is we tend to go to God for confirmations nevanhu or zvinhu zvatatova mukati mazvo already. So iwewe you're dating Kundai and you want to go ask God if Kundai is the one when you are already head over heels, watonyura murudo
ne rope
and ugumurota every day because wagara uri murudo ndomunhu, and then you then say ndamurota nezuro ndakambovunza Mwari kuti ndiye here saka I think ndozvavari kutaura. So I think we should learn to go and ask for the thing before it comes, so that when it comes already kutongotanga neconfirmation before wakutanga. Anditi kana tienda parwendo tinonamata tichienda isusu toda kuzonamata tapakati driver ari kumhanya, road is bad, ndopatisangoti Mwari ndiro here bhazi ratakwira etc. So I think if you ask first, remember you're asking your God. And we also have a tendency of not listening. We want to ask. Saka nawapedza chimbonyararawo weta sei woteerera kuti vari kuti chii. So depending nekuti iwo wavabvunza sei or munositaura sei or how do you converse. For example, I talk to you almost on a daily basis because unless we are together, if we are not, it means that period that you are not here, I will have to call you. Or rather, if I say Gebi right now, she knows my voice because we speak every day. So confirmation yemuna notaura every day, yemuna notaura here and there. I believe Zitori a bit different. Because kana tichitaura every day, and today I ask for a white shirt. Before a white shirt comes, makangoti irikuya mwanangu, I quickly recognize it's him speaking because I speak to him every day and I now know his voice and the way he speaks. But if we hardly speak, you have to know for sure that it's him talking back. So kanwatango nasine kurota madomas, wait a little and understand if this is, he's your father. You can always go back to him and ask please give me a reconfirmation of this confirmation. So you are utaurina every day and then naswangorara ukarota uchitengesa madomas and then mangwana wakutomuka uchibelieve utichi ufanga utengesa madomas. This is a response that came instantly, but you don't speak to him consistently.
Okay. Now I'm about to be a bit personal, You're my person. I'm allowed to do what I want with you. So the first thing that I'm going to do with you is ask you to tell me, why did you quit your good job?
Okay.
Why I'm asking is, the salary you were getting, if I'm not mistaken, the majority of employees in Zimbabwe, you already know who I'm talking about, they would probably need to work for it for something over a year, you get, but you were getting it in a month. And if I look at you right now, you're a housewife, but not everyone is privileged to be who you are or to live the life you are living. So my question is, what pushed you to say, you know what, kuf kaf?
Okay. All right. For starters, I'm a lazy person. I say this all the time. I'm lazy and I'm praying about it. But then the part I like about my laziness is it makes me invent things so that I can still survive and be happy in my laziness. So somehow I feel like it's a plus, like it's more of a positive than it is a negative. So in my laziness, I have always wanted to be a housewife, a well taken care of housewife. But you can't just wake up a housewife, right? A well taken care of housewife. So I had to work and I worked. But in my working, even though I was still hoping and, believing that one day I might be a housewife, etc. But then if this housewife thing does not come, I have to have something that will make me live like I would have lived as a housewife, which means I'm okay, I'm not worrying about my next meal, etc. So when I was going to work, you can use what you have at the moment to fund or pursue your passion, right? I then started something on the side. I started something that would give me exactly more or even tripled of what I would get at work. So it wasn't an easy decision or an overnight thing and stuff. I knew I don't like waking up in the morning. The earliest I'm up is 9. And 9 is because I'm actually married, so I have to make sure everyone is okay. If I wasn't, probably I would wake up at 11, 12. So I wanted that, but that is impossible when you are going to work, right? So I made sure I start something that makes me wake up whenever I want and take care of me. So when that started, it grew to a certain extent, and I realized, you know what, even on my worst months, I'm still okay. So I decided to leave. And I had also grown in many ways as a person, as a team player from my previous employer. So, you know, I also felt like, you know, my time here is done. I've exhausted all my ideas and everything that I can come up with as an employee here. So let me leave.
Okay. Do you know why I asked you this question is because the first time I met you was in Mutare.
Yes.
Don't worry, I won't get into detail. But I first met you in Mutare, and
Yes.
I then figured you had texted me quite a lot of times wanting to buy signals from me, the Forex. One thing that probably the world needs to know is this woman sitting next to me made me change my course outline for the day.
Dude, you always say about that.
Listen, Forex trading is just like any other thing out there. You get tinema gweja, tinema pastor, tinema director. You get all these people are inspired by different things.
Yes.
So if I go for a class in a church audience, there is no way I can be smoking my Habley or drinking my Jack Daniels there.
You have to relate.
I have to relate, and I can do that. Now, if I remember very well, your class was organized. The class you attended that I first met you was organized by a pastor and his wife. So meaning majority of students in there were Christian, best oriented students. So one way or the other, I had to go in line with what Christians would relate to. Because Forex trading is in the Bible, Ecclesiastes 11 verse 1, invest your money for a trade, and one of these days you're gonna
Mega profit.
cast your investments in so many places, for you do not know the bad luck that you might possess in this life. So I'm saying to you, when I went for the Mutare class, I was fascinated by Modern's Makex here. I was also driving an E320 Benz. Somehow that car was faster than the Benz. It's sitting at a dashboard. So we then
takeoff.
exactly. So that takeoff was fascinating me. I remember we traveled with my gents. We got to class, so we were outside. I'm not gonna lie to you. My being is human being. In what way? I live life as it is. Right now, if you're watching me and you don't like the fact that I'm smoking shisha, who are you? My wife is here smoking it with me. And she's the most person who met us anyway. So, or the pipe had fallen.
Yes.
Exactly. Let's pick it up and, you know, Aluta continua. So, she made me change. In other words, you made me change. My outline. Why did I change? I was using an iPhone X, S Plus, something like that. And then you pulled up using an iPhone 12 Pro Max. I think that was the most expensive. Yeah, that was the latest at that time. And that was the most expensive phone in the class. And then the car you were driving could buy mine 5 times. I was like, the fuck can I teach this person? Do you understand? But then I saw you, I saw the drive. I was like, you know what? I want to marry this woman. I haven't even taught you Forex today. I don't even know your name. But I saw you pull up because you arrived when we were outside, smoking what we smoke. Beautiful stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, I remember telling people, what the fuck? Because life you need to be a man, you get. Or badra sevi. So it does say, so the guys were like, bro, you're the one who can relate with my service. I won't lie to you. When I saw you, I liked you, but I couldn't afford you.
Okay.
That's why I got your number and I texted you 3 months later.
Dude, he asked me out. Like, it's about 3.5 months. I didn't even know he liked me. We exchanged numbers, etc. And then later, like I'm saying later, guys. And then this guy popped up in my DM.
Probably people don't understand why I did that.
You said I was putting my house in order.
I'm a sniper. You understand? A sniper knows when to enter. You get it? At the same time, I wanted to give you the respect that you deserve as a woman. Awangu. Paimrumas now to mboita ite yanenga chita. Takapura ikoko, but kwa kudara ikoko. You get it? If you're here and you're watching, you're my ex or my, what you call it, one night strings. I don't know, what is it? No strings attached. Bro, my wife knows about you. I don't know, Mama Zita. You get it?
I know.
Because we bump into my exes and I'm like, you know what? Look at that one. Takabane kukumunga. Ibrah, akuna. So at the end of the day, I'm saying, in pursuit of my own happiness, I felt I could be happy with someone who's living a life that I can't afford. I mean, I've been in so many flights right now, more than the number of in-drives or Ubers you guys have taken. The flights I've taken this year alone are more than the number of combis you have been in. But people don't know that I had my first, like I took my first flight because of you. You had come to see me in Blawayo and I was with my gents and we had a class the next weekend. Yeah. So we're planning shit. Man, I saw you live in a duplex. How much is your rent? Then when you said you're paying over 1.5 USD, I'm like, damn. Damn, bro. Why I was saying damn, I was too sober. Then I got button, damn it. But then I liked that. I felt like this lady has been in Emirates. She's, bro, the passport had only wings. Majara maboda, and stuff like. I know, but then at the same time, I could afford, because she made me realize I can afford flying. Why? I was driving an E320 that required about 110, if not 120 USD for one way in terms of fuel. So 120 plus 120, that was giving me 240. So when I'm like, I'm coming to Harare for the class, she then said to me, since I'm your woman now, you don't need to pay for a hotel, but the condition is you fly to Harare and I come pick you up. Bro, I looked at my gents, I'm like, you know us guys. All for one, one for all. My woman wants me in Harare and she wants me by flight. So we are flying. The niggas are like, bro, you're putting us in your plans and we don't even fucking know how this thing is going to end and stuff like. And I talked them in to say, gents,
let's go.
And then we took the flight. Shout out to you guys. I remember it was Kels, it was Pablo, it was Munya, M Squared. Who else?
Shekem.
Then Shekem, Makli. Shout out to you. We took the flight. And we were accommodated, bro. Bro, we took the morning flight, ne? But she knew that shisha and stuff. Bro, she had a shisha 450 USD. What to tell us about? Ibotomi shisha, but shisha rate 450. Enter a bema jamanjo. Uti maiko not over bim. But I'm just saying to you, she understood me. I don't have to smoke shisha in private. You get it? You're here, you're trying to judge me. Do you think she doesn't know that shisha kills? But what good is it that I stop smoking shisha and don't see any motor pads and sober? Na tutambisa my lungs ningadaenda bato tekana kirwa. You get what I mean? So at the end of the day, I feel like this person could understand me in a way that no other person could. You get it? So I went for you. I don't regret it. Bro, like I'm telling you, the number of flights, the destinations I've been to. She is the kind of person who can wake up and say, there's this project that I have in my head and I probably need about 5K. I'm a trader. My mantra is one. I don't want my kids to lack. You are here, you are a lady, you are not married. Rushandurwa jamani kupfura nyama iri pa-breast end. But at the same time, your life is not even admirable. Far from being admirable. You get it? So I don't blame you, but I blame where you come from. Aisi mosho yako. But mosho yako, if you keep living that life, the number of ceilings ladies now know. Umuntu opina naye mu rainbow to wifi yotungobata automatic. King of asma conference amaga attend taura ichokwadi. But then at the same time, I'm saying to you, I felt like this person was my bus stop, and I went for that person. And the first question she asked me when I asked her out was like, how much are you gonna give me as wife allowance? Not wife allowance, girlfriend allowance. Yes. And I'm there, bro. I'm building a house for my parents like I'm the firstborn. Ndakaita promise. Dira ndo bata mare makuruani. Kana dendra murungu vakachila. You get it? I wasn't sharp at school, but I wasn't dull at the same time. So some of my grades zangu aisasipaka mdara zvekudaro. You get it? But then I'm grateful. I have a young brother who's a superstar. Shout out to you, Mpitz, if you're watching this. Chibabaich. Like, I mean, right now, do you see how rich I am? I can tell you, 3/4 of the deal I enter, I give credit to him because I send him first. I'm like, bro, should I take this shit or it's going to burn me? And he's like, you know what? Feel. So I got shout out to this little star. But then as I'm saying to you, you know what? When I drink Jack Daniels, I tend to forget what I'm talking about. So can you tell me what I was talking about before I said Pete?
How you chose me.
One more thing?
That's what you're talking about.
Nai direct. What's my last word before Pete?
German, Magatobatwa, German.
I understand how much I gadgets. Ibrah. All right, what was I talking about, you guys?
Do you remember? No, you were talking about how you met, how you came with the guys to drink.
Why did I talk about Pete?
Because you said you were not so smart, and when I met you...
Oh, thank you. Right. So now my parents have always been those guys who want a sharp child. And I'm grateful for having him as my young brother. You get it? Because he's rectifying my errors and stuff like that. In mates, no one can pass on a fourth city. But he got an A one time. He has so many A's kupura the number of X's you have. I am a buzz. I am a buzz. I don't worry, let's just let it. This is the beast anyway. It's tired of giving me thousands. So I'm saying to you,
you were in the middle of building a house?
I was in the middle of building a house. And then she says to me, how much are you going to give me? Blah, blah, blah. Bro, I won't state how much I said I'm going to give it to her. Because more not of one boyfriend, but I feel like this person has the right drive. I've been to Dubai so many times. The first time I went there, it was on her. Can you take your boyfriend to Dubai? Remember, I wasn't your husband, then you got a boyfriend. So at the end of the day, I'm glad I found someone who was in the field of what I do. Meaning if I blow an account, she understands the pain of blowing. She's not going to give me a hard time. People say marriage is painful, marriage is hard. Yeah, it is. Perhaps to them. Do you get what I mean? I have nothing to hide. Blow a 2K in Dr. Right Amurungu. And you're the first person to make shisha with the hardest ingredients to consume so that I forget Kundai Robyn, and as soon as I forget, I flip back up. So this drives me to my next point. Money and relationships. How do we balance that? Why I'm saying this is because so many people out here are being lied to by guys. You know, I've been in this game. I've been in this blueprint. I know what to say to make a lady smile. But all that could not work on you because you were living a life I felt like I could not afford. But you then showed me, good nigga, you're spending $240 USD. But that same money can pay a return ticket. Why not just fly and time iri kusvika vanhu veroad pashangani ndenda tokutora paairport. She then showed me that life, and because of you I will never do a class where I have to drive. The only time I drove was probably not 2 weeks ago, about a week ago, because I felt like I missed being on a highway with you.
With me, yeah.
But that road, I got it another Snoop Dogg because of the style. This is beautiful.
You're crazy.
It's very takaitwa ne road kuputikirwa nemataya baba. I felt like I was a martyr because my tire aiputika.
I give up.
This is a bar. G. We don't get 7 Up. So now my question to you is, to that person who's out there, who's trying to look for somewhere to settle, how important is it for them to know what their potential man is doing? You understand what I mean? But then because I now need to modify my shisha, we're going to say this is a commercial break. I know Nanako Big Pastor. Check penga of the year. Regaiti Botora. How much they do the good Tandra media? Chilla. Right, ladies and gentlemen, the father Ibrah of Forex is here, and we are back from the commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. Quite a prison break. So now, I was asking you, I never forget. I only do when I'm high, but I never forget.
Okay.
How do we balance money and relationships? How important is it for someone out there to know what their partner or their potential partner is into before they fully commit?
Okay. I think when it comes to relationships, each to their own. Because everyone is what they want, etc. And I also feel like when you get to a certain age, there are certain things that you consider not important, etc. But what I can say to Chitanga is, it's instant for me. I think money it plays a role when it comes to relationships. I mean, it helps with a lot of things. So I think panikuti tizotanga kutaura about money when we are in a in marriage. I think we should. It's part and parcel of the things that we really should talk about. Because you could be dating, like you're saying, he said I asked for girlfriend allowance. You could be dating someone who literally does not believe in girlfriend allowance, and you believe in girlfriend allowance. But then you realize this maybe 3 months into the relationship, you have to try and just paying guys and stuff. So either you stay there because you know this is your person, and you know you just don't wanna be leaving and starting afresh, etc. But genuinely you're not happy because one of the things that you feel should be done in a relationship is not being done. So I think this is a conversation that you really have to talk about. For me personally, asking for the girlfriend allowance, like I was saying, was just a measure that I wanted to use so that I feel and know how important I am in his life. Because I feel like if I'm important, then you have to make sure I'm taken care of. Even though my marriage can on other things or something else, but you know, it's really important when you get your money, is it salary, is it whatever you do that gives you income. Not when you're a tithe, rent, car service, it is not released because you know I really have to do this every month. So I think if you know with your man, you just there somewhere, it means you are important, and he, whatever he's doing during the month or whatever, he knows I have to push because I have to take care of Kundai etc. So that's the reason I asked for the girlfriend allowance. So some people say ainabasa, or a woman has to work for their money etc. But then I also believe Murume is the head etc. It was out, he has to be a provider. So you can only show me you can be a provider somehow by making sure you make a commitment to that. You know what? This is girlfriend allowance. We then migrated to wife allowance, but it shows kuti I'm important and taken care of in the report list. So as in balancing relationships and money, those are number because someone else would say, hey, gotcha, in denial, and I really know how to look for my own money, and I have my own money. But at the same time, I think I have to take care of students. Not to drive, like you were saying. Yes, and stuff, but you don't know I'm sorry. I can rukisa myself, I'm sorry. And I'm sure but because you are now into play, you have to be responsible for something because we are in a relationship. So I'm not in there for the money, etc. But what
can I hold you there? Who in their right senses would say I'm not in it for the money?
And I also believe they are okay and correct.
Why I'm saying so? Someone might judge you because you asked for girlfriend allowance the first day we met. You get, but you have your reasons.
Yeah, my reasons were, I'm all the way far from home. If something had happened to me and God forbid he decides to seclude himself from it, and stuff. And aside from that, I still have side hustles that require my time. Hence the not driving, because 6 hours ago I would probably have.
No, tell them you said to me you don't drive for a man.
Yes,
because I said, please can you, Ibrah, nagati kuna kuku uyaka ku blues baba chiripo why is there? Because it's okay when at Friday, and it's perfect. I don't drive for a man. You got a picture ID.
Yes, I don't.
Because book go flight.
You got a driver for business or something else, or maybe drive for him now that he's my husband and I really have to go where he is and circumstances are not allowing me to fly. I would drive to go to him or even get on a bus. But when you're asking me out, leave everything. My house is very nice. The comfort. Leaving my girls, I could go on a solo date or go play with my friends, etc. or go for a massage. And I'm choosing to leave all that and come see you. And aside from that, time I have put a lot of things on hold. And if I didn't...
Sharing is caring.
And if I didn't spend my time coming to you, I would have probably made a K. But I'm not there. I'm not making the K because my time is with you.
Take a seat.
But it's almost over. This whole journey is almost over. So that was me. And if someone judges me for Chinucha and do not believe a family, then they can have the honors. This is what I believe in this life, the next, or even the previous. I would have said that I don't drive for a man. How much is my girlfriend allowance? Because you said you want to do this. We're not here playing.
Did this conversation of girlfriend allowance emanate from the fact that you knew I was a Forex trader and I make thousands in minutes on a good day? Or it came from you being who you are? Because I remember last week we were driving and we came across these guys who work a common job that everyone knows about. And I asked you if I was earning their salary, do you think I would have managed to date you? What did you say to me?
I said, yeah, I would probably be living somewhere.
But then that salary is not even enough for you to fly alone to South Africa one way.
I also don't like to speculate. God didn't give me that life and I'm not there, so I don't know how it would have turned out and stuff. But the amount or the the drive behind asking for a girlfriend allowance had nothing to do with you. It was about me. Had I been dating someone who sells airtime and stuff, I would have still asked for my girlfriend allowance because he's making an earning. If it's $10, pachati dollar tithe, dollar ku rent, dollar ku fuel, ku bus fare. Exactly. It just shows I'm important and I'm in there and you are committed.
I think the reason I understood you, the reason I felt the need to give you the money we spoke about, shout out to my mentor, Dr. Chamuchiwanza. He came to us so many times, went with him to so many institutions, and he would tell people the same thing. Do not walk into poverty with your eyes open, all in the name of love.
Yeah, correct there. There are many hide my ID things that we read on the internet. Amweni ngokuthi hey asike nobasa akuswera akagara pakhona neboys rakhe, rent is on me, kids school fees are on me, I'm exhausted.
But ndoenda ubasa ereni. Ndoenda ubasa ereni.
You even akaita dirire $10.
I don't want you to sound like a hypocrite. I don't go to work.
Okay, you do go to work. Do you wake up every day and you do your thing? Do you wake up like someone who is going to work? It's just that your working environment is not somewhere that you need to be. It's exactly where you are. Even if we travel, you still wake up in the morning and do what needs to be done so that your family eats. So
now that you say that I make money wherever I am. I'm at 10,000 in about a week or so. In about a week or so when we went to Zanzibar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so now my question is, how does it feel to date someone who makes, or to love someone who makes your finger feel like a magic finger? Because as far as I know, there's nothing really in this life you've pointed at, and I said no.
Okay.
Right now we're driving. Do you remember Ibrah? She saw a Range Rover Jipura. I don't know if it was an Evoque or...
Yes, I like the small one. That small one.
And then she's like, I like this car. Bro, I'm like, the fuck? Pama discovered my Wombe, put my sport, put my Luma. You get it?
Is that the one I like? I really, like I said.
But do you understand you wanting an Evoque makes me lower my lot size?
Well, that's your problem and how you do your things. In Nini, that Evoque.
Hey, let's talk about conditions.
Yeah, that's how you do your things.
I
said we're living for people. Everyone around me says, yeah, this car would be nicer than that one and stuff. But hey, chill out. I want this one. It's the one I like at the moment. So regardless of what you say or how you view it, so I'm not really bothered about the impact it gives kuna anyone else. If it's here, I'm happy. It starts there.
Okay. iPhone 14 Pro Max which year? 2023? Yeah, 2023 if I'm not mistaken.
2023.
I remember, shout out to Guzu. My phone and is it? Guzu came to me and is like, 13 Pro Max wangu nyama last. Is it? And my wife is still using that 12 Pro Max that I met her with. I call her, I'm like, 13 Pro Max reboxed. I remember you answered me in a way that gave me that I chose right kind of feeling, because you said to me, Kohanoshan Sama 14 Pro Max, Vageza me. That question made 0.1 into 1.0. Not even 0.1. So now I then understood behind every successful father like myself, there has to be a mother like yourself.
Yeah, but someone would come and say that's pressure to someone's son. Like,
Iwewe kana chifila pressure because of your needs and demands and wants, then it's not meant for you.
Yeah. No, that's very true.
Because I always ask anyone who drives a Fit, a Demio, a what? Why was not going to have Victor or take a Land Cruise?
Let me tell you a story. Where you used to work previously, I think I've only had one employer all my life. So where you used to work, we used to do...
Am I not an employer?
I'm saying prior to marriage. Remember, I'm telling you.
Because this marriage is a job, ladies and gentlemen.
I was saying we went for a retreat, the whole company, and this was, I think, a few months, 3 or 4 months before my resignation. So I already knew I was leaving, but I was waiting for my things to fall into place. So I remember people asking, because I think from the organization I was the only unmarried one. And even if you ask my friends, people have tried to hook me up and stuff, and they say, no, can't you just band some of the things that you want or you mention are not really necessary. But I said, no, I would rather not have anyone than have someone who is not ticking my boxes. So Ikokoku came, they said I was driving that car that he then met me with. So they said there were also even elderly women, and I remember one of them saying, I wouldn't want my son to marry someone at all there. So if you really would like to settle someday, excuse me, why don't you downgrade to on the feet and maybe no nails or something, So I've realized as a girl child we tend to shrink, whether willingly or because of the forces around us, so that we get a man. So Inini, you know what I said? I said, this car is not here because I'm not married. Like, I don't have this car because I'm not married. You can take this away, married or not, and I will still work myself up to the very same car, because this is the kind of car that I want. This is my standard. This is something that I know I want for myself. So married, unmarried, even if you take all this away, then I get married and I have to start again, you still see me pull up in a Mercedes. That's me. That's my standards. They don't have to do with who I'm dating or what.
Allow me to do a point of order. Comrade, I was driving a Mark X when you saw me for the first time. And you're driving a Mercedes that could buy my car 5 times. Why did you say yes to that guy who was driving Kam Shika Shika compared to what you have? Didn't you fear that I'll take you to Chicken Inn for your birthday?
Okay.
No hate to Chicken Inn birthday.
Okay, so you had the dam, you had the fishing rods, you had the worms, you had the fish that you had fished for a while, and it was only a matter of you being content. So I knew you had the dam, the fishing rods, the worms, the capability, everything. But you would fish 3 or 5 and then, just be content. So I knew if I stayed by the dam with you long enough, would fill a bucket. So you get my point. It wasn't about would you take me away. Already you had proven that whatever, you're willing to go through some things to a certain length and provide a lifestyle that matches me. You were not trying to shrink me. You get my point? You're not trying to say, I'm not driver, I Mercedes, but when I said I don't drive for a man, you made sure I came using the mode of transport that I was.
That day can I feel I got to watch because one period is the first Zakuru, but the first jet. I remember it was around $318. The return ticket was cheaper because I got my mail. So I paid and I took you to my parents. Remember, I was building a house for my parents. I took it to my mother and father. I have to change the sitting position. So I took it to my mother and father. You can judge me all you want. You get it? But then, it's not like I was idle. I was at a certain garage, but I didn't like the quality of that garage. And then I met a garage.
Like, seriously?
So I was like, 1 + 1 is equal to 2.
1 plus 1, 2.
2.
2 plus 2.
4.
4 plus 4.
5 plus 5. So 5 plus 5. 10. Can I? Esther is inspired by all the 10. Why? I like him.
Yeah,
Good in
he's a
music.
good artist.
And agala muzanga ungeni. Atombo kwate jamanu how big you are. That's the mindset I have in the Forex market. Fusak. I am who I think I am in this Forex industry. Whether you choose to believe it or not, the woman who sleeps next to me approves. Isn't it beautiful?
Extremely.
So now, why I've been asking you questions is because I took you to my parents and they liked you. And they even asked my young brother why I'm not married to you. You get it? I was like, you know what? Because we share the same DNA. Mato ibata mukroni. Iyi within is 34 ndaidai. Yatopinda mukati me kronish. So what did I then do? Played my cards. Kepele juve. Close. And then we closed. And I noticed something. I don't know if you saw it, Ibrah. Whenever she's talking, she makes sure you see the diamond. Low-key guns up. Low-key show off. I mean, you my person. I've been seeing you.
No, that was it.
Look at it. That was
I'm just someone who uses gestures when I'm speaking.
But why is it that you're not using this hand?
I'm using both of them.
No, this has been used.
This was
99%.
No, let's replay this. I need to see this for myself.
But anyway.
I was doing this subconsciously.
It's not like you didn't have a beautiful wedding. Come on, you should be proud of it. So, I appreciate the fact that you're disclosing a finger, a hand. That is something that I paid for. I told myself, the one I choose, won't like, should understand Forex trading. So when she attended my class, when wamone marimo account, yange Sara, kote withdraw, yange Sara.
I think my balance was 800 something.
And I blow her 800 euro. But why I then asked her out the most, call me a gold digger all you want, but don't chere manuwe. Munu yanga withdraw 52,000 when she attended my class, meaning she wasn't a beginner. You get what I mean? But I had not seen that much in my whole life. Maybe by the time my total withdrawals started trading, I took my 17, 18K, but I was already a mentor. And she had taken out 52 FN thousand.
The FN part.
5, 2. We did a class online. She attended in Sunday, but my days are doing days when I tracker. So I would then say to her, answer this question, and I need to see your face because I'm not on a ghost. And then she lighters the camera, brah. And the camera shows me this person is on a ground floor. Because where she's staying, there is a first floor. Looking at the furniture, the everything, I was blunt. Sorry to ask you this as a mentor, but do you have a blesser? And then she said,
yeah,
no.
That was before you asked me.
Yeah, bro, had I known you're dating a politician or someone big, I wouldn't have bothered. Ndofira mahara. So I needed to understand kuti panchaenda sleep over kudeni kwemunhu muridzi werent achasvika here. And then I discovered no, ndiye muridzi werent. I was like, thank you Jesus, I'm free.
Amen.
Hallelujah. Why? She was living a life I admired. So me being a partner to her meant I get to live that life simultaneously. Right now I've been to Dubai, I've been to Zanzibar, I've been to Kappa, I've been to Ethiopia, I've been to Qatar, I've been to Singapore. Hey, name it. You understand what I mean? This is Forex trading. Ladies and gentlemen, Forex. Keep Forex. I think we need a review.
Of what?
I don't know. Shisha and whatever you're drinking. Because you're no chapere. This is even less than a shot. Remember, I'm marinating my own chicken. Usangulangu baba. I choose to call you my own maloti. Ask me why. Maloti is explicit. You are also explicit. But when it comes to spending my money. Right, so comrades and friends, kunge ever sharp 15M. Chaita say? Tarifila. It was a refill, baba. So now, I feel like today was more of get to know us. You understand? So when we start to teach these guys Forex trading, they see that we're not fly-by mentors. We're not from a banana republic. So this is episode 1. Episode 2, now we move Forex, topic by topic. And it's unfortunate on this podcast, she is my exclusive guest. For you to have a chance to talk to me like this, you have to be married to me, but I vow to my Lord that this is my bus stop. So comrades and friends, Mzansi Express, ndopa inomirira pano, yobva yataura kuti mari yenyu yaita sei? Warenga. Bhazi rarenga. So now, we're going to be teaching them Forex trading. Can you tell them your topics?
Okay, iyo Forex trading yacho, what it is, because I think we're in a society yokuti vanhu vese vari kungofunga kuti this is a scam, etc. But then I also understand not everything is for everyone. So we'll talk about what Forex trading is, how you're gonna be able to trade, where do you go to trade, and then maybe touch on other topics like psychology, risk management, capital, currencies, synthetics, crypto. Guys, Forex trading is a broad topic.
But between me and you, can one really fully rely on Forex trading as a source of income?
Yes,
120.912%.
But I'm saying yes. People, there are plenty of people who live off of Forex trading. I think kana usirimajiri, like you probably not even understand what we're talking about. So when you then be part of the community, you realize there's plenty. You then realize there is plenty of people who are traders. Plenty. Especially the females. There is even a community. If you go on Instagram, I'm part and parcel of an organization called AFFT. It's just female traders there from different countries: Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Malawi, Ghana, South Africa, UK, everywhere. But maybe because you're not into it, to sound people are talking about.
So to those out there who still believe Forex trading is a scam, what's your message to them?
Forex trading is a scam. Leave it alone.
For real?
Like, why do we have to convince people to take all this time to stop watching Netflix, do other things?
I always tell people, come to my inbox and they ask me a stupid question. The most stupid question that I've ever had in my life is Forex trading.
Yeah, that's...
Bro,
I also don't know how to answer that.
No one has ever been to a driving school to ask what do you guys do. Everyone goes to a driving school to ensure they get a license. So when it comes to trading, why do you want me to tell you what it's all about? Tanga wachaga wega jaman. What's the admasina? All right. Let me look for someone who can teach me.
Yes, that's true.
To those who say I don't respond because you ask me stupid questions like that one. I have over 3,000 unopened messages in my phone. Hi what? Nigati hi. We all can hi no nati hey. Over how are you? No, I'm fine and you. You times how many numbers? Normalize texting people with something you want specifically. Jump straight. Personally, I appreciate people who don't greet me. Someone takes them down and just say, what do you want me to say? ndada mukadzi wangu, ndadii ndamwa Jack Daniels, ndadii ndabhema akashisha. So what else do you want me to say to you? So at the end of the day you say genga rinoganza cause rane big hausi kutaura zvine musoro. Auende una doctor, even doctor akamutaura ndinorwara, anotaura chii chiri kurwadza. They need to know what's the root cause of the you get what I mean?
I do.
So at the end of the day, I'm a very nice person. But don't make me look like Mama Azuka because you're coming to me with stupid questions. Come to me wakuziya forex trading chi and wakuda kudzidziswa. Your conversation with me should be where do I start or how do I start? So we are saying to you, as far as when do you start next week on Friday. Like I said to you, we're gonna be here. As to how, you just make sure you have data and you watch our next upload.
Yes, that's true.
So when and how, you now have the answers. Why? I'm sure you're tired of being broke.
Plus, I mean, like we said, let's live life to the fullest. You can try it out. If it's not for you, then you just drop it. What do you have to lose? You know,
I did a class in Vic Falls in 2019. Yeah, 2019. Class young guys today, Mara. But there's a guy, gentleman, I don't even know his name because he wasn't my student long enough for me to know his name. During the class, patanga tanga taura ma Fibonacci, ne machichi, ma Ichimoku, hink, you know. Mama got alligator. I saw him pack his laptop, put it in his bag.
And he left.
He didn't even ask for a refund. I then called him after class. Why did you leave? Said to me point blank, son, because I was young enough to be son. I'm young enough to be son if he's still alive. Anyway, this is not for me. Forex I say my door for comrade. Techiropa match trader. I know mkanzo match mnofunga silent killer because of match cage.
I knew that's what you were gonna say. Because anyway, guys, inini I have when I was staying in Mutare, because I stayed in Mutare before. You can ask my friends April, Flatters, Beryl. We used to be in one car going to town, and everyone would just see blues on my phone and be like, but now they'll be like, oh, no forex trading, exactly. So I'm saying, if it's not for you, it's not for you. If it's for you, make sure you want it also, and then you go for it.
My advice to you is behind every successful man like Father Abraham is a woman like my wife. So at the end of the day, comrades and friends, I'm saying to you, you're digging your own grave.
Why would you say that?
It's not like my life is going to be up always. There are days I'm going to be down. So if you, as a woman, rely on me for income, what happens on the month where things are bad? Makutoita match cage titenge nyama because matengesa nyama. It happens. It happens.
What I can say is, you know what, some of the problems that you have or some of the things that you do are not part and parcel of your beliefs and what you stand for, but because sometimes you need that dollar, you end up doing things that you're not proud of. So I'm saying pause a little and try this thing. You maybe you think we're saying by tomorrow you buy a Lamborghini. No. We're saying you will be able to lie in bed and sleep peacefully, not worrying about your next meal, because you know, come rain, come sunshine, you can make $10.
And in closing, try by all means to live a debt-free life. If you're watching and I owe you money, the reason I didn't pay you is because I don't like you. My hopes are because speed you 180. It's very beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, catch you live on the next episode. Signing out is yours truly, the Father Abraham of Forex. Multi-award winning Forex mentor. Instagram unoona atinyebe V11 jamani, atinyebe indasiyana kana mentor wako vanenge kana ndege wasati wambokwira simply because varota ichi crash. saka at the end of the day neniwo handitomboshandiwo kumazowe so handisi orange crush beautiful.
Extremely.
So comrades and friends, as you can see, I married a labshush. Allow me to labshushlize the labshush because marination has been done. Why? Shout out to y'all, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to Ibrah. Hey.
The man behind the camera.
The man behind 5 Ibrah na Trump wakafanana because mesemaji ma 5 later. And to you guys who've been following Father Abraham and this guy Ngirozi, but at the same time you feel like I'm here to change your life. So call me Ngirozi Nzira, because just like those guys who rescued us from Lupane Road, Detours Roadchi, Enje. I'm here to rescue you guys from your financial bondage to your financial freedom. Allow me that chance. Ndipe hiyo nguva yangu, make me a better mentor through producing results with you. Make it easy for me to help you. Me and you together. Asante sana.
Akufiwe.
See. Beautiful stuff.